Hey guys, it's Steph here with Crafty Ladybug, and today we are making a ladybug with open wings. This ladybug that I have here has beads on one side of the wing, and bands are for the spots on this other side of the wing. Today I'm making the band spots. On my channel you will find another video if you want to use beads for the wings. Also, for this lesson that I'm making today, I am not doing the white spots for the eyes, but you can feel free to add the beads at the end of your ladybug if you wish for eyes. But today's is just going to be all solid black. So to begin today's lesson with the ladybug, you're going to need about 44 black rubber bands and 28 or so red rubber bands. Our loom is going to be set in its offset configuration with the arrow pointing towards our body. On the edge, I have set up 6 rubber bands with a black band tied in a knot in the center. You want to do these in advance. If you don't know how to tie a knot in the center of your rubber band, you will want to watch the video on my channel about knot tying to do that. But tie 6 black rubber bands into a knot, and then you're going to thread them onto 6 red rubber bands. We're going to set those aside. So pause the video here and get yourself set up with the little extras that we need over here on the side. And then we will come back and hit play and begin our video. All right, we should be back and set up now. You should have your 6 sets of red and black rubber bands over here. We're going to begin today's lesson with a single rubber band placed on the center peg, dangling over the back edge, and that's going to be our securing band at the end. Take 2 rubber bands and place them from left to center. 2 rubber bands are going to go from center to right. 2 rubber bands coming right down the center. And now we need to turn in again. We're going to do a diagonal from left to center with 2 rubber bands and 2 rubber bands to finish off that little area of the head. Our neck is going to be 2 rubber bands, and then we need to do our left side, which is going to be 2 rubber bands. Coming down the left with 2 rubber bands, coming down the left with another 2 rubber bands, and now we're going to turn in to the center on a diagonal. On our right side, it'll be 2 rubber bands, 2 rubber bands, 2 rubber bands, and now we're going to turn in towards the center to close that off with 2 rubber bands. We need to fill in the center with 2 rubber bands, 2 rubber bands, and 2 rubber bands. Next step will be to do the cap bands, which on the end here we need to take a single black band and we need to cap that with a single black band 3 times, a 3-time cap band. Going on that peg right there, a single band forming a horizontal triangle above that, and another single band forming a horizontal triangle above that. And this is going to be the body of our bug. Our next step will be to lay the wings out. And if you do not lay the wings out as I am showing you, you will have a problem at the end of the ladybug. And you'll have a problem at the end of looping your wings too. So take a single rubber band. You're going to go on the left peg, skip 1 peg, and start on the next open peg. We're going to go from left to center, and then we're going to work our way clockwise around. Left to center, center to right. These are all 1 bands. Come down 1 on the right, right back to center, and this one's going to be a little bit different. We're going to go to center, down again to the left. So we have a longer side here, and that's making the pointier portion of our wing. Now we need to go up with this. From left up, and from that peg there to close it off, going up once. Now we can complete our starburst area here in the center, but before we do that, I need to put in a horizontal band right here. It's going to be a single band. We're going to double twist, and we're going to go from the center peg here on the left over here to the center peg right there. Now you can see the starburst kind of shape right here in the center. We want to take a single band and go from center forward. The next is going to be one of our knotted bands. You want to take your knotted band and go from center to right. You want to make sure that the knot portion is pointing up towards the sky. Our next is going to be a single band with no knot. Our next is going to be a single band with a knot. Knot pointing up. The next band is going to be a single band, no knot. And I'm just pushing those down. I'm going to have some extra room. Our next band across there is going to be a knotted band. And that's going to complete our starburst area right there in the center. So we started off with a single no knot, one with a knot, no knot, one with a knot, no knot, one with a knot, and we're back to finishing. We need to do a 3-time cat band on the center of that starburst. So stretch that out and do your 3-time cat band right there. I am going to loop this closed right now, and then we're just going to let it sit on the loom and build our other side. So reach into your cat band, reach through those 3 bands that we use for the cat band, and you're grabbing your next available band, which is a single red, and it's going to go over to your left. Now right here, what you want to make sure that you do is that you take your little piece of black knot, and you want to make sure that it's coming up through that area of your little starburst piece. Give it a little tug if you need to. But that's what's going to show as our knot through our wing area here. Next, I'm going to reach in and I'm going to grab the next band on top of that starburst, and it's coming down slightly to the left. Reaching in, grabbing that next band of the starburst, which should be coming straight down. Once again, it has a knot on it, so you just want to fiddle with it just a little bit and pull the knot up through there. Makes life a lot easier at the end. Reach in. This one has no knot, and come over. This one has a knot. You just want to make sure that you're getting that knot up through that little piece of the starburst. Little band. We want our knot to show through. Less fiddling in the end. And our last one forward. Now we are ready to close off this starburst. And when we close off this project, you're going to reach into the left where we first started to lay, and we're going to work backwards. So reach in beyond those 2 bands, grabbing the next band, which is going to be coming down to the left. I know it's a little weird movement, but push back everything, grabbing that last band, and it's coming down to the left. Next one, reach in, the single band on the bottom, and it's coming towards the center right. Push back everything that you see, grabbing that last band on the bottom, wiggle it out, and come over. Reach in, last band on the bottom, wiggle out, and come forward. Reach in, last band on the bottom, and move over towards the center. And we need to reach in, grab that last band, and secure it off right there. And now what we're going to do is just to leave this on the loom until we get ready to finish looping our ladybug. So our next step is going to be to lay out our other wing for the opposite side. Going to be a similar technique, but it's going to be opposite. It's going to be mirroring this wing here. So we need to start, skip a peg on your right, start here on this peg and go towards the center, up and towards the center. Now we're going to go from center to left. We're going to come down once on the left. We are going to come from left to center. We're going to come from center, down one more to the right. And now we're going to go up our loom. Band up right, one band up and to the right. Need to place our horizontal bands right here, which is one band, double twisted, going from that center peg to the center right peg. Now you'll see our starburst shape again. And we need to take a single band from center forward. This band here is going to be one with our knot in it. If I can get that on there. And you just want to push down. The next one coming around is not going to have a knot. Knot. The center one is going to have a knot. And you're basically just laying out your starburst pattern here. No knot from center over. And we need a knot on this one. And now we're back to having all of our little 6 pegs filled there for a little mock starburst. We need to do a 3-time cap band in the center. And you can do your cap band whichever way you feel comfortable. It just needs to be a 3-time cap band. So I've placed that on the center. And now I'm ready to loom this wing. I'm going to reach in. I'm going to grab the band that's closest to the top beyond that cap band that I just laid and move it over to the left peg, pushing through to make sure that my knot comes out. Reach in, grab the next available band, which does not have a black knot on it, and it comes down slightly to the left. Reach in into that cap band, pulling back, and that's another knotted one that we want to just take a second and make sure that our knot comes up through, and I can't get a hold of it, but we want to make sure that our knot comes up through, there it is, that open area right there. Reach in again to your starburst, no knot. Here comes another one with a knot, so I'm just going to try to straighten it up a little bit, make it look pretty. Hopefully it'll loop right in. And of course it didn't, but there we go. Make sure your little knot comes out. Our last piece of the starburst coming forward. And now we're ready to loom this wing shut, the outer edges of this wing. And because we started over here on the right, means we need to loop that way also. So over here on this right peg, you're going to reach in, you're going to grab that band that's there on top, and you're coming down slightly to the right. I know it's an awkward movement. Push back your starburst band and push back that horizontal band, and you want to reach in and get that bottom band. You only want to pull out the bottom band on this one. And wiggle it out and come down to the right. And we're ready to move this way. Reach in, pushing back those 2 bands and looping over to the left. Pushing back everything that we have on that one, grabbing the last band, moving over to the left. Push back everything, grab the last band and come straight forward. Push back everything, grabbing the last band, wiggling it out, and something was not correct on that one. I did not get the right band. So I'm just going to take a moment. I'm going to straighten up what I have here Let's see what I have going on. I'm just going to relay the incorrect bands. You guys didn't have this problem, so you don't have it to worry about, but I did. So I'm just going to take a second and straighten them back up. There we go. Reach in, push back everything, grab that bottom band and come over. And my little black spot has decided it wanted to move slightly on me, so I'm just going to tuck it back up. Now I've got one more piece here to finish. Reaching in, grabbing that bottom band, over to the right. And now we're just going to leave these two wings right here on our looms. We're going to pick those up in just a minute or two. I'm going to move back up here to the body. We need to start working on the body. Reach into your 3-time cat band, grabbing the top 2 bands, and they're going to come forward. Reach into that cat band again. The next 2 bands should go off to your right. Reach in again, bottom 2 bands, and they should come over to our left. I'm going to work up my left side right now. I'm going to just reach in, grabbing the bottom 2, and come forward. Push back your horizontals, bottom 2, and come forward. Now I'm going to take a second and I'm going to set the loom down because I need to come down here and I need to pick up this wing. Your bottom wing is going to be the wing on your left side. Take your hook, be sure to place it in the very center, and pull your project off the loom. Make sure that you have your bands in the center of your project. If a band slips off around here, when you go to place it, your wing could fall off. If you watched my beaded wing video, you saw that I missed a loop when I went to do this process and I had a wing fall off and I had to fix it. But I did, I fixed it on the fly. So you just want to take and make sure that you're stretching this out and you're getting the exact center, because if you have one band that slips, it's going to fall apart. So I'm stretching this out just to make sure that I have everything correct and I have the center. I'm going to place that on this upper left peg right there. And my next step is going to be to push all those items back, grab my bottom 2 black bands, and loop over to the center. And that is going to lock and secure my wing in with our fingers crossed and it doesn't fall off at the end like it did in my beaded ladybug tutorial. Reach over here on the right, push back, bottom 2, push back that horizontal, come forward with the bottom 2, and now I've reached my right wing. So I'm coming over here to that spot right there on your right, or actually this is the spot on the left, but we want to poke or hook through, pull this off the loom, straighten up any loose bands that we might have kind of just fiddling around here. Just give a little tug and pull, makes it look neater before you move on to the next step. And now we need to place that on this right peg. Once again, you want to make sure that you're stretching it out and you're getting the exact center, that you don't have any kind of weird stray bands that aren't right. And lay that on there. And we're going to reach in beyond all that we just laid, and you're grabbing the bottom 2 black bands and you're wiggling those out and coming up to the center. Now we need to finish off the center of our ladybug and our head, and we're almost done. Yay! Reach into the center band or center peg, grabbing the bottom 2 bands, and this is just straightforward looping. Next 2 bottom bands, straight forward. I'm at the neck area where there's a whole lot of bands, but you want to push back all those bands and you want to get the bottom 2, wiggle those out and come forward. Next 2 that are on the top go off to the right. Next 2 go off to the left. And now I'm going to finish up my left side, reaching in towards the center. Going to finish off my right side, reaching in and go towards the center. And I still have that center band to finish. If you don't do the center band, you're going to have a weird looking ladybug. But reach in there, grab your center band, and loop forward. Now we're ready to finish off the whole project with our dangle band. So I'm reaching in and I'm grabbing that single band on the bottom, pulling it up through, wiggle it around to the front of my post, putting the other end on my hook, and just slip knotting it off. And this is actually going to become our antenna also. Ready to pull it off the loom. We're going to cross our fingers that our wings are nice and secure. And I'm gently pulling them off. And my wing is secure on this one. Yay! I did it correctly. You'll laugh at me if you go watch the bead tutorial, because then I show you how to fix it. But here we have our open wing ladybug. Ooh. Tighten up your securing band good and tight. And that securing band is actually going to become your antennas by clipping it. You can tie it tighter if you wish. You can tie another knot around it. But here we have got our beaded ladybug. And if you, our banded ladybug with spots as the bands. If you wanted to do beads for the spots, you will need to watch the other tutorial that I have out on the ladybug with beads. This one that you're watching is the ladybug with bands for the spots. So I hope you guys have enjoyed, and post your creations on my Facebook at Crafty Ladybug Rainbow Loom Creations, or Instagram, tag me at Crafty Ladybug, and I will see all of your stuff. Ladybug, ladybug, fly away home. I know you guys have been waiting so long for me to make a ladybug because, you know, that is my name, right? So there's my little ladybug, just for you guys. And me too. I've had it sitting here for a really long time to make. This was my first one that I made. I didn't give it eyes either, and the head was really big. So I just decided to shrink the head a little bit, and there was my first ladybug I made months and months and months ago, and just haven't put it out just because so many other people were doing ladybugs, and why not do mine because I am the ladybug. CraftyLadybug.com. Talk to you later. Bye.